What up? Well, hello there. Look at B-Ride. Oh, you don't hear that, huh? You don't hear that. Chasing, chasing, chasing. Kill, kill, kill. I'll play one more time. Yeah. Enough of that, man. Yeah. I did make that. You know what I'm saying? I get the beats popping if you ever need me. You know what I mean? Holler at me. I give you something for the low. You know what I'm saying? $20 holler or something like that, man. I really don't care about the beats. I do them. I make them because I love them. And plus, we needed something original for the show. And as you do know, I am your boy TCS Rilo in the building. I am very, very sorry about my presence not being felt. Yeah, like you guys care anyway, man. I've been paying attention to the views. What are you guys doing, man? You're supposed to be showing mad love right now. Mad love right now. And you know, I've been checking in. I ain't liking the views. If I got this many subscribers, I mean, where my views at, man? Are you guys not watching me? Am I not picking the right topics? What would you guys like to see? Let me know in the comments, man. Let me know let me know what you would like to see more of in the comments. You know, have I done something that was doper than the next thing? Something that you would like me to stay on? What I got for you guys is definitely a hot one. And I figured I was going to stay out of the studio for a couple days. And what I wanted to do was just take a break. Um, and I wanted to try to clear my mind of all that's going on. You know, you turn on the news and all you see is, you know, well, at least on YouTube, all you see is you know, the YSL thing, uh Gunner and who's snitching, who's responsible for Takeoff's demise and things like that, man. And it just gets depressing right now. The energy in hip hop, it's in the state of emergency, man, if you ask me. And you need to get people like who I'm about to introduce you to right now. If you're a younger guy, if you're one of my OGs and you're watching, man, stay tuned, stay locked right now, because this one is for you. None other than the boss man himself, the doctor of funk, the everything of funk, and one of the founding fathers, when you get right down to it, of hip hop. And this is George Clinton that I'm talking about. So today I'm going to react to a Drink Champs episode where George Clinton came on there and he was talking. And when George Clinton talks, you could tell he's not a fool. He's not a dumb guy by any stretch of the imagination. And he said some explosive things in this interview. I'm talking about down to drug sniffing dogs having addictions and having to go cold turkey when they retire them, to an alien abduction that he has witnesses for that he really can't account for the time. It's a crazy story, down to him possibly getting $2 billion back in royalties from his publishing, which you can get back after 35 years. See, back in those days when these people would sign contracts in the early 60s, 70s, 50s, they would say you're signing for, you know, till the universe ends, or, you know, for life or perpetuity or whatever like that. You can't, that's a civil rights violation. That those contracts can't go like that. So they made it to where after 35 years, you can get your masters and your publishing back. Right now, this man's songs happen to have been sampled over 2,400 times. Now he's not mad at the artist, he's mad at the labels. So he actually made an album so that artists could sample his music. You know what I'm saying? And the label even tried to do copyright things on that. But I'm gonna jump straight into it. I'm gonna let you guys hear a little bit. I'm gonna comment. I got the timestamps right here, so you're not gonna have to sit here and watch a whole interview with me. But I definitely do not want you to go away. Stay here right now. Before you do, hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that like, share, send me to the algorithms, man. If I make it, you make it. You know what I'm saying? If they ain't with you, don't let them get on that plane with you, man. So I'm looking at the 470 something I got right now, and I'm gonna remember every one of your names. Trust me. Well, I probably won't remember every one of your names. But anyways, let's get right into this, man. It's your boy NORE, of course, on the Drink Champs, and he is going to be going through a beautiful interview with my dog, George Clinton. So let's go ahead and check this out. Okay. Of course, I'm gonna slide on over to the side. Bam. And I'll enlarge this for you guys right here. Let's jump right into it. Let's start listening.
When I go through your life story, it's just like, wow, man, you are really a legend, and you out here still smiling, still touring.
Man, I've been blessed in this shit.
Right.
I started back pre-Motown era.
Woo.
I started back in the doo-wop days when they made records for you to dance up close and grind and shit.
You light a fire and you go like this.
Yeah. No, it was just slow in the basement with the lights out. That was the 50s. So I started, back then with Frankie Lyman and all of that.
Yes, I remember.
You know what I'm saying? And we moved into the Motown era. Temptation was my idols, and Smokey Robinson, all those was my idols. By the time we got a hit record, 67, they were peaking. Motown was peaking. The Jackson had just came to the label, you know what I'm saying? And we figured we missed that. So we got one hit record out in 67.
And you're located where? In Jersey?
I was in Jersey at the time, Newark.
Okay.
But you were born in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Okay.
Right.
And went to Plainfield and Newark, right?
No, I worked in Plainfield. I was a barber. I did hair.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The process of the dudes.
Right.
That was playing out. James Brown say, cut your do off. So that shit was playing out, and Afros was coming in.
Right.
So we got a hit record just in time.
All right.
With a record called I Want to Testify.
Oh, Testify.
That was, and like I said, we was into the Motown thing, but it was peaking. It was, as soon as we got the hit.
And at that time, they was comparing you to the Temptations.
Yeah, we was, we wasn't tall enough. We was short. We was cool, but wasn't that cool.
Wasn't that cool.
But we got that hit record. And like I said, it was changing. Rolling Stone, Beatles, and European was coming in to the country doing the same music that my mother and father liked. The blues, the twist and shout from the Isley Brothers, music from the mid-50s and stuff, 40s. They was doing that. So we realized that we had to change. We had to change our style right when we got a hit record. We flipped it into what Jimi Hendrix was doing with the psychedelic, the acid.
Right.
We dropped our share of acid. We got fucked up. And next thing you know, we was in that. We had a guitar player we were just listening to a few minutes ago, Eddie Hazel.
Right.
Did the record Maggot Brain. So we were a psychedelic rock band, black, underground music. We knew we wasn't trying.
All right, peeps. So he said a psychedelic black rock band. All right, now funk. This isn't funk yet. You know what I mean? They're coming in. They're all coming from rock and roll. You know what I mean? James Brown. They say he's the godfather of soul, but he's the godfather of rock and roll as well. At that time, everybody was that. People say, well, he stole this from him, and he stole this from him, and Elvis Presley stole this from James Brown and things like that. Well, you know what I mean? Creativity, it's iron sharpens iron, man, and it gives off sparks. That spark is that energy. It's that idea. It's giving other people ideas, and they're like, yo, I'm feeling that over there. If anything, that kind of brought people together. You know what I mean? That brought cultures together. That brought different ethnicities together. And it was a great thing because most of that kind of stuff is what was sampled in hip hop. before they started getting more creative and having more tools and things like that, and going for classicals, and genres of music started to change, and the samples got different. But you had to bury them. You had to be real secretive with them. You had to, you know, make this part backwards or put it up a semitone. You had to do something to it so that you could try to get it cleared. And a lot of these labels weren't clearing them. You know what I mean? So they got, if they do audits, they got people they can sue. But I'm gonna continue on because you're gonna hear something crazy right now. So get ready. Get ready, my people.
Trying to get 45s every day, a hit record 45 every
But
2
does the
months.
psychedelic mean mushrooms?
Acid.
No, it was
LSD.
Yeah,
Right.
mushroom was.
I like it.
Mushroom was the light version.
At the height of like the Vietnam War, the anti-war
the height of the Vietnam War. I mean,
hippies
that's what
and all that stuff.
that whole movement was about. Stopping that war, the hippies and everybody that was tripping and looking for that far out place. Well, we did that. We was lame as hell, but we did that and went crazy with it. Because we thought we was cool. We had the best acid.
Right.
We freaked out, and like I said, we had the best guitar player and keyboard player in the world, Bernie Worrell, keyboard player, classical trained Eddie Hazel, who was like the next Jimi Hendrix. And then we had our doo-wop singing group. And Billy Bass all of them was under 16.
Wow.
On the band. Our band was like our little brothers. We were like 20, 19 and 20.
Right.
And they was like 15 and 16.
Right.
So we had a hell of a band that nobody else could keep up with. We were doing psychedelic music with a black band. We went back to play the Apollo Theater. And we had changed from the suits. They knew us with suits, and we came back there with dashikis and diapers. First name on the album.
Oh, wow!
He was like 14, 15 years old. Okay, this was first name on the album.
Africa Bombata.
Hated on the road because we played a lot of colleges and shit.
But let me ask you something, right? As hip hop started to emerge, and you started to see like the first people of hip hop, they started. It felt like they were mimicking you.
Well, you know
How
what?
did you feel?
We got it. Africa Bambaataa.
Yes, yeah.
We got it.
Zulu Nation.
If one of our albums called Uncle Jams, if you look at the back of the album, it's got all our fans from each city, from the fan club on it. Africa Bambaataa name is the first name on the album.
Oh.
All right. So for those of you that don't know, Africa Bambaataa is credited as being one of the creators of hip hop. In my opinion, which I normally don't give my opinion, but in my opinion, I think that it's safe to say that Grandmaster Flash is the creator of hip hop and DJing as we know it. I mean, Africa Bambaataa and them guys and Kool Herc, they were playing records, they were spinning them. They didn't have the method down. They didn't have that science down that Grandmaster Flash applied to it. So, but they were definitely earlier pioneers, and they deserve their shine. You know what I'm saying? But Grandmaster Flash all day, that's my guy. So here we go. He's talking about Africa Bambaataa actually being a part of his fan club, and then putting that on an album, so you can actually see it because they displayed their fan club. They were nice to their fans, like me. You know what I mean?
Wow.
He was like 14, 15 years old. Okay, this was.
You really are the godfather of hip hop.
I mean,
holy shit! I didn't know
Zulu Nation and all of that was like the first thing that that we saw of that, and we got familiar with it real early in the game. Didn't know what it was going to be. We had a friend from the Bronx that used to sell T-shirts for us. He was 16, and he used to had a boombox on his back, and he played flashlight, and he was selling the flashlights, and he was rapping to the music. This was during the intermission.
Your song Flash.
Between Bootsy song sets and our set. He would sell so many flashlights from rapping and doing. We was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Oh, but we sold it 3 times, right? Like, meaning we had a prescription base, we had it on YouTube, and then we had it on television.
3 distribution.
Parliament played in Funkadelic.
I was like, yo, he sold the same band.
And the girl group, the Brides of Funkenstein, Parliament, was the same people. Again, Bootsy played bass on theirs. He played, Bernie played on them. We all were
Parliament
It was
Funkadelic.
60
was the first
60 people.
I'm like, holy
60 people.
60 people. When we went out on tour with the mothership.
That's crazy.
60 people in the same 60 played on everybody else's.
Oh, I ain't
record.
even got that
You
shown
just
for
be the
y'all. My
lead this
bad, my
time, and we
bad, my
back you
bad.
up. You be the lead next time, and we
Right.
back you up.
Let me look at the people right now. Ain't nothing new under the sun.
I mean, we
thought we did
we
it
really like Wu-Tang because they got the concept.
Right.
Really.
Damn.
They got
when actually, that's exactly what I thought of. The first thing I thought of when I said that, I said, "Damn, RZA got the
RZA got the concept.
RZA, he copied
right.
you.
he produced
in a beautiful way.
everybody, got
And they all
their
played
separate
supporting
deals.
roles.
So RZA, he's saying RZA from Wu-Tang was up on it early, was up on sampling the funk. And he says that he actually made an album called Sample Some of This and Sample Some of That. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to that. I don't want to make this too long for y'all, but I really want you guys to listen to what this man's saying, because it gets crazy. Right now, what I'm just trying to display for the younger people is about contracts and where the sampling came from. So people started to sample people's music. As you can see, he says RZA got caught on really early and started sampling that stuff, and everybody did. This is the guy, Snoop Doggy Dog, Bow Wow Wow, Yippee Yo, Yippee Yay, Atomic Dog. They made all that. So most of them Dr. Dre samples, Ice Cube. I mean, everybody was sampling these guys. Everybody been sampled more than 2,400 times. All right. Now I want to get to the part where he's talking about the money aspect, where how they're going to get their masters back, which they're able to do after, like I said, 35 years. So I'm going to jump straight to right here. Let's get it on.
Here.
When they come between you and your friends.
Right.
Right.
That's how they separate you.
Right.
If
They say he ain't getting paid.
you ain't getting paid, you ain't getting paid faster, and they be in control of the payment.
Right.
Right.
So it end up, if they work with getting in between you, you end up having a problem getting your people together. Right now, we're going through that, trying to reacquaint ourselves with all our friends to make sure they get paid. I'm working with Ben Crump right now,
Right.
Trying to get the whole industry thing for, Black musicians and all musicians, really.
I don't know if you've seen it, but Chuck D had filed a lawsuit against Universal, and he actually won.
This whole
because these contracts that they were saying that was being signed back then wasn't legal.
They're not. They try to say that you signed for life, perpetuity,
and throughout the universe.
Throughout the universe, none of that stuff don't. But you have to be able to do it from a civil rights standpoint. The law standpoint, if you don't do it in time, you got run out of time. They got all those legal things they can wiggle with your lawyers.
Right.
So, and you have to worry about your lawyer getting paid off under the table.
Right.
And all.
Yo, so what he's talking about right now is, like I said, those weird ass contracts that we're saying for life and everything like that. They were illegal, so they were not legal. But they're legal. They're legal in an aspect of time, saying, well, statute of limitations ran out. You could have did this, you could have did that. But he gets his master's after 35 years, which he's coming into anyway, right? And then on top of that, they're coming at it for civil rights violations, right? So they're hitting it from a whole different standpoint, and that's how they're gonna win this. And it's gonna open up a whole floodgate, man. I wonder what it's gonna do for sampling, though, man. You know what I'm saying? I love the sample. But anyways, let's go, man. Let's go. There's so much more, man. There's so much more.
So we've been fighting this for like 35, 40 years.
Yeah.
Now we got it pretty much under control. We getting our copyrights back. Like I say, Ben Crump is our lawyer, along with some expert music lawyers.
Right.
And we getting ready to get, the news gonna break in a minute. You ain't gonna believe the stuff that you hear. Songs like Humpty Dance. The Humpty Dance. Chuck G and all them was our friends when they were a singing group before they ever rapped.
Right.
When Tupac was dancing, they would, we was tight with them. And the song they did, Humpty Dance, is Let's Play House on a Parliament record.
Right.
And yeah, Let's Play House. And it has been sampled so many times. And one of the things that happened, my son, came up with some of the lyrics. So he was one of the writers along with Bootsy and Junie. somebody in the record company, I don't even want to call the names now, but you will
Let me
hear.
know. You could tell it to me.
You'll hear it in a minute. You'll hear it in a minute. Changed from my son's name to my name. Because they was already stealing my stuff from a Ford signature that they said that I signed.
Because if it's under your name, they could
They could
claim
steal it.
Oh,
They had already did that. So they changed it from his name to my name and then took it. And this has been, what, 35, 40 years? There's so many samples of that song that right now it's getting ready to be one of the biggest cases in the world. Like I said, and Ben Crump, and it's gonna be a civil rights thing because it's you talk about your history, something you're supposed to be able to pass down to your generation,
taking away generational wealth,
generational, and it's planned like that. Everybody had to agree to do it. You know what I'm saying? All the
What
companies,
do you mean everybody had to agree?
The record companies had to agree.
Oh yeah,
you sample mine, I won't charge you. I'll sample yours, you don't charge me.
They were in cahoots with each other.
And the artists get charged now. I ain't saying the artists didn't. They took money from the artists. I mean, I tried to get Snoop. we was gonna have a what was it called? We had a royalty statement party. You come to the party, bring your royalty statement.
Like to go to this party.
Bring your royalty statement, and we compare royalty statements.
Shit, I'm gonna be the lowest nigga there.
Yeah. So what he's saying now is, you know what I mean, the royalties they're getting off the original music, you know what I'm saying, is way smaller than the royalties that the artists that were sampling the music was making. So all of that's about to come back, you know, all them bad contracts that they were doing. And they said they made everybody, you know, everybody do them. He was making music from when, you know, $50 was like $1,000 to the point where now where $1,000 is, you know, like $500. You get what I'm saying? So he's been through era after era after era. We're talking about the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, because he's worked with many artists. He's worked with Dr. Dre. He's worked with Snoop Dogg. He's worked with Ice Cube. I mean, doing original music, not just sampling, just making original music. He's made original music with many artists in the game. You know what I'm saying? He's produced for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He's he's the mastermind behind the bands Parliament and Funkadelic. He has been inducted into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame, as well as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, with all 16 members of being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you know, Boosie Collins, all them guys. That was crazy. That was crazy what they did. It's crazy what they did for music, period, the culture. I'm talking about Prince. Guys like them, they wouldn't even exist. They wouldn't even exist. Michael Jackson too. You know what I mean? Funk brought in them big, you'll see. But let's keep watching my man. Let's keep watching my man, because this is it's explosive. Now I might have to start skipping through and finding different things because I want y'all to hear these couple stories. All right.
I was, I talk too much, so I said it out loud before. Before we did it. Always, like I said,
between y'all two, y'all probably the most sampled in hip hop.
Yeah, really was. I actually, like I said, I didn't wait for him. I made a record called It because I get money now and to that.
Right, because you get it back. That's like $100 million, maybe more.
It's like $2 billion.
Okay, right here. Just let me stop real quick. He said what he's supposed to be getting back is like $2 billion. He's 80 years old. That's what worries me. Is these dirty ass record companies, right? Praise God. Put your arms, your shield around this man and protect him. Let him see his money. Because y'all know where I'm going with this. You know what these record labels do, man. You know what they do.
God, you're talking about all of the hip hop, say Dre's whole catalog.
Yes.
I mean, the Chronic.
Yep.
That was almost like the mothership just laid, and he rapped over every record.
And Snoop's first album.
I said that. I was trying to say that. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
Like I said, I did Tupac stuff live. You can't.
I swear to God, we was working out, to listening to your music. And I was like, how much money does Dr. Dre owe him? Like that's what I was just thinking.
Be Dre.
It wouldn't, you know.
No, he just one.
The record labels, like
he's just one of them.
Yes.
You know, the same with the East Coast. All of the Public Enemy, Rakim,
Eric Sermon,
Eric Sermon, boy, I mean, all
and
of
you know
that.
what's crazy about that? Let me vouch for them and saying I'm pretty sure that they said make sure he gets paid. I'm pretty sure they saying that.
Snoop and Dre both said it. I went on the Grammys with them, you know, one time, and I said it right on stage. Make sure these writers get paid.
Right.
But it's out of the and you scared as hell. They're gonna ground you once you start speaking up for somebody.
Yeah, he's talking about these new artists. Now, Chamillionaire, I heard Chamillionaire, and I think I said it on one of the podcasts, but I heard Chamillionaire say that he went to his record label and he had his accountant audit the label. Now, his accountant had taught him this. Now, when they audited the label, they found out that they owed him $600,000. So they were playing tug of war. They weren't trying to give it to him. He said, "Look, man, if you don't give me my $600,000, I'm gonna go teach every other artist how to do this." They gave him his 600 G's. He still taught everybody how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So these labels, I'm telling you, man, these young dudes they sign. And here's the difference. Here's the thing. You take it. Let's take a little trap rapper, right? And let's say he gets made. He's putting on his guys right away, doing crime still, ain't bought his mother a house, hasn't established an estate, a will, done nothing. Boom. He gets whacked out, right? What happens to his money? Look at FBG Duck's mom says there's money's everywhere. She's trying to find money everywhere. You know what I'm saying? God bless her soul. I hope she gets every penny of it. But, they ain't doing this. Now, you take an athlete, a young athlete, same age as the rapper, and he's buying mom a house before he buys himself a house. He's living in an apartment, you know what I'm saying? Because he knows he's traveling with the team, but he's taking care of his family. Big difference there. You know what I'm saying? Respect to both of them, though.
Your lawyer, your manager gonna tell you, stay out of that.
Right. No, not us over here.
Let them have
we ain't having that over here. Not over here. We ain't having that over here.
All right, now I want to jump to this story,
Eventually, they was wearing the applications to whoever the dominant.
Gotta open your
eyes and feel that, oh shit, it's been this way all the time.
So do I gotta take mescaline?
No, I mean everything's evolving now.
Here he's just talking about
do
the drugs.
Shrooms is legal now.
Yeah. Presence of a legend, man. I'm really honored. Like, let me. Thought I knew everything about you, and it's like I don't. Like it just keeps growing and growing and
with you.
Yeah,
that's an easy one. I mean, it was just what was happening in a social. Not trying to be no preacher.
Right.
I always avoided that. But they nice, right? Laser in daylight. That's a weird.
Bam.
Rock groups, who from Europe who was talking about that stuff. So we peeped that, and we were able to do it. America Eats this young provocative type concept about like biological speculation,
right?
Stuff like that. I was saying stuff that I knew was political or social. Not trying to be no preacher.
Right.
I always avoided that. People want to. We did it just to bring it up to make.
Right.
That was just what was happening in New York. It was almost over by the time it was happening. Police will tell you, man, don't blow my job, man. Come on, I know you lost your job and blah blah blah. But they give you a break.
Right.
It was hard as hell in L.A. You wouldn't get no breaks.
Yeah.
Right.
But
so let me ask you: you went fishing one time in the Bahamas and you saw aliens?
I went fishing lots of times. No, but I ain't seen the aliens.
Peep this.
Seen a UFO. I don't know how to put it.
Me neither.
I mean, right now, the government is saying there's UAPs, UFOs. Like
I've been convinced of that. I'm so convinced of that. I'm ready.
Okay, but describe this moment
now. Any day now, I'm ready for that to jump off. That would not surprise me. But I'm saying what happened. He's talking about Bootsy and I was riding in Toronto, and we saw a laser. Midday, right, middle of the day, nice, right? Laser in daylight, that's a weird look. That's a thing, right?
Yes.
We saw it, hit the ground about a couple of blocks in front of us. We got there, didn't see. I said, what was that? He said, I don't know. So we drove another 3 minutes. The same thing, came down through. Now we're off the highway. We're on a secondary street. Come right down through the trees, 2 blocks in front of us. We see it right out the sky and right through the trees. And when it hit the ground, it looked like electricity splattering, it's popping. Okay, we see that. It landed on the same side of the street we were on. Next one landed in the same block now, on the other side of the street. And I reached for the radio, to turn down and look. And then the third one hit the car on the passenger side. It beat it up like mercury in a thermometer. The mercury in the thermometer.
I do not know about mercury in a thermometer.
Liquefied and liquefied silver, like liquid looking.
And just dribble over the side of the car.
Yes.
Now, this is only like 3 minutes from where we just seen the laser.
Listen.
I mean, the one that looked like a laser.
Right.
This is like 3 minutes.
I love this story. Right,
but when we hit the car, our attention for like years, I didn't think about this for years, was on the fact that the street lights were going down.
They were dimming.
Right. It was like the street lights was on and they were going off. The car lights was doing that, was dimming. You could see way down 2 blocks in front of you, the lights going out and Boots is driving. Say, what is it? I said, I don't get it.
That's normal.
We get about 3 blocks and look to the left, you can see street lights on and it looked like traffic was moving. We get to the house, parked in the driveway, and don't say shit. We sat there for like 3 minutes. And my daughter walks out and said, wow, y'all look like y'all seen a ghost. And she said, give me a hug, I'm going to bed. Now remember, I told you the weirdest thing about seeing it the first time that it was in daylight.
At 10 a.m.
This is only like 5 minutes away from where that.
Now it's dark?
Now it's dark, and she's going to bed.
So time lapse.
So that means it's 7 o'clock. We did not think about that for at least 10 years.
You guys got abducted.
We did not think about the fact that time discrepancy from the first time we saw it to the street lights going out to her going to bed. I had to call Boots. I'm on the road years later and say, when I thought about it like that, I said, what time did we get to Toronto? He said, 10 or so in the morning. I said, great. When we saw the light the first time, I said, it was daylight.
Scared of Toronto.
I said, it was daylight, right? He said, yeah, it was daylight. It was weird. That's what made it weird. That it was in daylight. There's only 3 blocks from there to where the light hit the car. I said, why was the street lights going out?
And why were they even on?
And why was Barbarella going to bed at 7 at night? He said, man, fuck you. He said, what happened to that time? We never thought about that.
Which is classic abduction stories.
And I got to ask.
Bam. So let me run that down for you real quick. I know you guys are not dumb and you heard him, but if you're just tuning in and catching that story. So he said him and Boosie Collins were going through Canada, through the border, right? Clean. They didn't have nothing on them. They weren't high. They weren't doing no drugs. They were later on trying to get some. But so they get to Canada. They see this UFO action. All these things happen. It's 10 in the morning. They drive 3 blocks after the incident happens. Gets to the house. It's all dark. His daughter's getting ready to go to bed. Right? They can't account for from 10 a.m. to noon. Right? That's 2 hours. Then it's 7. So what's 7? It was at 9 hours that they can't account for. That's crazy. Hey, Molly, chill. And the she be beefing with the chihuahuas next door. The lady don't never walk her dogs, man. Yo, chill, mommy. They're naughty dogs. You're a good dog. You're a good girl. Chill. So yeah, they can't account for the time. So now I'm gonna bring you off from this incident, right? I want into something else that he kind of admits. And this is crazy. So follow me now. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed and hit that like button yet, please do that now. Check this out.
Was there any drugs involved?
No.
Sober.
No psychedelic, no funkadelic.
The thing is, we had just come from Detroit, from the studio, had come to customs.
Because, Detroit and Canada right there.
Canada.
Yeah.
Going through customs, which,
Went up for one. So we had to come through custom. We ain't coming through that custom with no drugs.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I had to go look for some after that.
That shit fucked you up so much.
All right, so Pete.
He was an intelligent dude. And they had such good material as Digital Underground.
Absolutely.
He go to do this business.
You absolutely
died, but the character was.
And then people went crazy and started overdoing shit.
Because no one knew what cocaine was.
that you could manipulate and do all these different.
I recorded this at George Bush Sr. used to live in.
That's a hell of science term.
Oh, that's what LSD stand for?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's a real.
Had a show here.
Had a show.
Remember Flipper?
Yeah.
They named it that damn.
Yeah. Oh, no,
They got these stones that they say they think is like part of Atlantis or something.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Pete. Oh fuck, I didn't even have it on there. Good. Because I was only fast forwarding and shit like that. But Pete, listen. So the story he's about to tell is one of the makers of the Golden Sunshine Acid, where they used to get their stuff from, ends up getting a show where Flipper, the dolphin show, where they would do all the dolphins and train them and do all that. Listen to what he says about this. This is explosive. This is crazy. This and the aliens is one of the craziest parts. And then one thing at the end, please watch till the end. If you have never watched any video to the end, watch to the end, skip through, do whatever you got to do. But I need y'all to see this, man. This is crazy. I don't know why this did not hit headlines. Y'all need to run this one up to the universe. Please like, share, subscribe. Get it gone for me. Peep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
Mad random.
Nah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I want to see some alien. Bobby Brown book, he fried chicken with cocaine. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 80 years old. I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
So I like participating.
I got this in my notes.
And nobody knew how to pay.
Right.
3,000.
Of getting your master's.
Wow.
But at the time that was that MTV. I wanted something to provoke me, and let me try my ass to do it again. Still here.
Mm-hmm.
So I like participating in all the social media.
Saying one thing about
now Eddie Murphy is getting ready
for that.
State is a whole nother thing,
and it's heavy as a mother.
And criteria is like it's not like in the hood it's area.
They gave me a Bahama Mama.
Yeah, you ain't never fried no chicken.
Oh no!
Okay. Since Flipper was so. Flipper said, "What's up, man?"
Flipper came out.
You ain't never fried no chicken.
Oh no!
With cocaine. You ain't never fried no chicken with cocaine.
No. But I've seen it done.
You've seen it done.
I've seen somebody. I've seen do everything. But like I was saying, we were.
Talking about what?
Like I said, we were in the Boston area when Timothy Leary and them discovered the LSD thing. When that whole thing, when the FBI was searching
Timothy
for
Leary
during the 70s.
Yes,
we were in Boston during that time
because that was in the university, right?
University,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Matter of fact, that's what we got the answer from those same kids, where you could they pay you $60 to take it and watch it for 4 hours.
Because they were testing.
Like Pineapple Express. You never seen the movie?
Yeah.
Pineapple Express. They get you high and they monitor you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they was doing that with LSD?
Yeah, that's what it was at. And we had just gotten into Boston. That was 68. That's right, 68. Oh my God. So Led Zeppelin and those groups came through the 68. That was really the psychedelic.
And they got put onto it here.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that changed music.
That was my experience with acid and that whole time.
And LSD and acid is the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. They ain't cousins.
Matter of fact, the guy came to Miami. What was one of the other professors, and he had a show here.
He had a show.
Remember Flipper?
Yeah.
The dolphin. The dolphin. The guy that had that show.
Right.
That was an undercover show for the scientists.
Wait, the show was undercover?
Was undercover. That show was a cover for them doing dolphin studies.
with them doing LSD?
No, the same guy that did the LSD in New York. One of the guys came here and had that show, Flippers, and it was cover. You can check it on. It's on the internet. Flipper was a cover for them studying dolphins and using them until they started using them in the government during war.
Oh, because they were doing the bomb things.
Yeah,
and all that.
That's when he quit. That's when he let them loose.
Right.
Just be right down to the secretary. I mean, the aquarium. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, Pete. So one of the professors that was doing the acid studies when they were first inventing it or whatever ended up getting conveniently placed at a dolphin show where they the SeaWorld or whatever. So these dolphins were actually this was an underground study that he didn't know about from the CIA that were using and training these dolphins to travel because they can, sniff out bombs or whatever, and then they'd strap explosives to them and blow submarines up and things like that. And once he found out, not George Clinton, the guy that made the acid, once he found out what they were doing with the dolphins, he had let them loose. So, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was pretty crazy. So we're at alien abduction. We're at CIA operatives. He was buying acid from, you know what I'm saying? One more thing I want y'all to check out is something that he put. If you are a dog lover, you hear me just trying to ask my dog to be quiet. That's Molly, my toy poodle. She is my world. Okay. Next to my son, that's my daughter, and that's my son in there. This next thing, if you are a dog lover, I want you to listen to what he says. It's kind of a little rap. It's kind of a spoken word, but yo, it is profound. It's going to take me a second, but this is the last thing. And then y'all can go ahead and get me up out of your lives. But I hope you share this one and show your people. And I hope it was interesting for you because I myself, I'm a nerd. I thought it was amazing, man, especially with who the man is. All right. So let's go. Let me find it. Bear with me.
You get a Dolphins LSD.
Might as well.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, they probably did.
Dude named John C. Lilly. Check him out. John C. Lilly.
And then that's how the Flipper started flipping.
Yeah. Flipper started talking.
Makes sense. Flipper was so. Flipper said, "What's up, man?"
Flipper came out the water.
That was just to cover all that stuff.
That's covered. Crazy.
The real story was they was training the Dolphins to put the bombs on them.
Right.
And he let them loose. That was the big scandal.
Wow.
He found out the government was doing that. He turned them loose.
Turned them loose.
Now, Atomic Dog.
Now, Pete.
Now, especially with the young. Oh, I watch them all day.
Phones up.
The two that paid us with your song, they could have been spending that money there. You got some, you sold them to the stores.
Right.
It was a hustle. Once they got really.
That's why people keep asking me.
Chase the cat.
Yo, hold up.
It ain't the artist. It's just, this is what we see.
Right, it's reporting.
This is what we a couple of blocks in front of us. That means it's 7:00.
Keep going.
No.
Not being upset at Now Eddie Murphy is getting.
It was like upper.
He wanted a cigarette for a word.
Criteria.
Here in Miami? George Bush Sr. lives in Miami?
Mad.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Girl says that.
Take their legacy.
Graham, you got to show your.
And some people think they starving before. Tommy Boy paid.
It needs to be simple.
It's by Quick Time with Slime.
Hold
Hold
on.
on.
That.
Then they squat and
Listen, right here.
nickname the radio ever.
Ever. Whatever you want. I respect.
Bad word?
Yeah, it was curse word, right?
Yeah, you got your ass whipped for saying funk.
Funk.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of words like that.
Listen.
I mean, funk, you think of bitch.
Right.
It's a female dog.
Right.
I mean, but it's been taken so far out that I don't think nobody even know that the connotation of it being that.
Right.
It's like the atomic dog. Dogs. I'm into dogs.
Right.
That's one of my pet peeves. That dogs were supposed to be man's best friend.
I thought that was my
So when you want
smoke
to give somebody an example of how bad you can treat them, you can treat them like a dog.
Right.
Or the vibe you put on when somebody say bitch. It's like so intense. I'm doing a Broadway play
Broadway play
about that concept about dogs. How much time we got?
No, we good. We good. We good.
Listen,
You can take bathroom breaks. We can have dinner.
yes,
We can do whatever we want.
This is the story. U.S. Custom Coast Guard dope dog, nicknamed Bustum. Like most dope sniffing dogs, he's got a habit. Trained to have to have it. Pick up the tracks of the traffickers and track them like a rabbit up the coastline. Canine Control Substance Retriever, receiver of the Golden Nose Award for leading them to the cash, cashing in on the stash. Now he's in line for his issue of the booty. Never do he do a line in the line of duty. He's a dope dog. A U.S. Custom Coast Guard dope dog, keen sense of smell, tracking the telltale trails of cartel dope boats. Big dope, never a gram, OZ, kilo, too low key. Gotta be tons of P-blow, bales of lumbo, while other dogs are sniffing one another's tail. He can track the profit from a dope sale, straight to the stink account. Big banks, banking on laundry, dirty money, not stinking. As the wind blows, he follow his nose. Old Mac Uncle had some drugs, C-I-A-I-O. And with those drugs, he bought some arms, C-I-A-I-O. There was a bang bang here and a snort snort there. Here bang, there snort bang and snorts everywhere. Old Mac Uncle starts a war, C-I-A-I-O. And the war on drugs is hell on a dope dog nose. It smells where the nose goes when the doors close. And the dealer want to hide the dope in the booty, in the twat. Then they squat and make the dog sniff their bowel, foul as they fart in his face. Damn, for a shitty half a gram? An undercover narc with a bark took a bite out of crime. Posing as a CNI dog, he bit the blind man with the cane made of coke. As sure as the dope boats float, the media goes comatose. Unrelated over-the-counter overdose now become drug-related, aided and abetted by a lot of apprehension and indifference. The bigger the headache, the bigger the pill. Y'all can take your medicine now, because you're going to be ill when I tell you the deal on dope. There's more profit in pretending that we're stopping it than selling it.
You Contra Fair, you come with the war on drugs.
Yo, all right. So Pete, I've held you up. I really thought that these points in this interview were explosive. All right. If we listen to what he's gone through, he's talking about Timothy Leary. He's talking about the Golden Sunshine Acid. He is talking about the studies that they were getting it from the school. Getting it from the school for $4 and then being tested and all that. They were going to get it right at the age of it. You know what I'm saying? There's documentaries about these people. He's talking about the same guy, right? One of the professors from the university where they were getting the acid and creating the acid, going and working on a, I don't know, SeaWorld flipper show where they were, training the dolphins and having them do a whole show there. And it was an underground operation for them to train these dolphins to, work with explosives and combat enemies and things like that. All the way down to a UFO where he can't account for this time, him and Boosie Collins. Okay, so he's got a guy here that can corroborate the entire story, plus a daughter, right? I don't know how these got skipped over or how they didn't hit headlines or nobody reacted. I'm hoping that me reacting to it sheds light on George Clinton because this man is amazing, man. I mean, for real. My pops, I was having a conversation with my father and he said, son, you shouldn't, just talk about hip hop. You know what I mean? And that's why I took a week away from the studio and I sat back and I said, well, how do I segue? He said, nobody talks about rock anymore. Rock don't get no love and blah, blah, blah. So in the future, I'm going to be talking about some rock and roll. I'm going to be talking about the artists. I like to talk about the people behind the music, man, who they really are, where the inspiration for the music comes from. And we also got an interview this weekend with my boy Dope Fiend. He is a local artist. So look out for that. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the building. So we'll have an building interview with him. and we'll get some of his music out there, let you guys hear that. And yo, I really hope I enthused you. Thank you if you did stick around, man. Even if you gave me 10-15 minutes, even if you skipped through, I really hope that my old school see this and get the cracking up. Go and check out the original interview, which was on Drink Champs, which is on Revolt, which is Diddy's network. But you can find that episode on YouTube. And that is the George Clinton episode with Nori and DJ EFN on Drink Champs. And that's my reaction to it. TCS Rilo from the Cooking Show 262.0. Please subscribe, hit that like button, comment, share. Let me know what you think, man. What did you guys think about this interview? How crazy is it? I mean, that it was in nobody's headlines. Like what he was saying, like this is crazy. And when you look at the guy, does he have a reason to lie? They come from an old class, from an old school, man. They ain't got nothing to lie about. Nothing to lie about. But I really appreciate you tuning in once again. I love y'all. We got some really exciting things coming up. I'm not talking about it no more. We jumping right up into it. We got the third member of the cast. Funny as hell. Y'all gonna love this dude, man. But that's it for right now. Please subscribe, like, share, send me to the moon, man. Yo, let me know what you thought about that dog part, because that was crazy. We're talking about dog sniffing canines that I never thought were becoming fiends. They were becoming addicted to the drugs that they have to. Peter, where you at? Come on, man. Yo, TCS Rilo, Cooking Show 262.0. Love you, boy. And I'm out. You know what I mean? Bam.